Well, it could be like a Mickey's Big Mouth or one of those. You
No,
never know with
not
those.
at all. Not at all. It's
Apparently,
just
all of our Facebook listeners just lost the history lesson on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh,
So
did
if
they?
you, yeah, the audio wasn't hooked up because I was moving things around, but they have audio now. I do apologize, but if you guys want to hear it, just download the episode this week, and you
There
can
you
hear
go.
the history we just went over on Cinco de Mayo.
All right. Well, hey, listen, guys. I
That's
want
a little bonus for all you diehards who actually download the show.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we appreciate you guys tuning in and listening, but well, you know, some things
That
are going
was
to be
for the
left for
OG
those who download. What's that?
that's for the OG5.
Oh, I thought you said that was pretty hokey, meaning my
like-
history lesson was hokey, and to which I was going to say, fuck you.
Yeah, right?
Really?
He's an
I
asshole,
mean,
sir.
I
How
know
about you?
I'm known as a dick, but holy cow! I
Come
He's
didn't-
an
on.
asshole, sir.
You two being brothers, how was it growing up? Did you guys, like, ever physically fist fight or anything
He's an
like
asshole,
that?
sir.
Yeah, he gave me a bloody nose because I beat him in a Nintendo game one time.
Oh,
I think it was NBA something or other.
NBA Jam.
Yeah,
or-
one of those.
Yeah, how about, okay, so he's bloodied up your nose. How did you ever get one good on him, D-Train?
No, you know what else he did to me? Remember when Dick Tracy came out? Here we go,
Yep.
Gordon.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep,
Let me just,
I sure do.
Hang
Well,
my head in
Warren
shame.
Beatty, man.
Yeah, I was in middle school, elementary school at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And two things in my life that ruled the world was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
and the movie Dick Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had Dick Tracy action figures that had come out, and we did the math, and we discovered that the cost of every Dick Tracy action figure equaled the budget for my birthday.
All right. Okay. Okay.
And so me and my stepmother Melody, we went to every toy store in Columbus, Ohio,
Good God.
and bought every single Dick Tracy action figure with the exception of one
All right.
that could never be found. I don't know if they did it intentionally and made it limited, but it was blank face, the Madonna character.
Okay. Okay.
You
Yep.
could not
Yep.
find that thing anywhere. eBay didn't exist at the time. There was no internet.
Yeah. That,
There was dial-up,
Yeah,
CompuServe and all that stuff.
AOL and
No, AOL I don't even think was out yet.
Really?
Yeah, because at that time Gordon was running a BBS out of my dad's house on his computer. It was CompuServe and
CompuServe.
yeah, and the
Good
other dial-up
God.
stuff. But anyhow, so fast forward,
Yeah. Yeah.
played with them, whatever. Got into high school, no longer had an interest in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh, hell no.
and action figures, because at that point I found the ladies, as you like to call them.
Damn right.
But I had a young cat who was interested in buying said collection. Because how many people in Grove City, Ohio has the entire collection of Dick Tracy action figures except for one character?
Well, that'd be you. Close to it. Right?
Well, I got home one day, went to round up my bushel of Dick Tracy action figures, only
Right.
to find them to be completely annihilated
Oh.
with BB gun holes,
Oh.
arms missing, holes in the chest, heads all chipped up.
Right. Right.
See, in Ohio, we have basements.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
And depending on how much money you want to invest into your house, and the price of your house depends on how big the basement is.
Okay.
So our basement wasn't the full footprint of the layout of the house.
Right. Right.
It was only under one side, and then basically where the living room and the garage was. Obviously, the garage was a concrete slab, so no basement there.
Mm-hmm.
But where the living room was a crawl space.
Okay.
It was about 3 feet
All
tall,
right. Yeah. Good enough.
paved.
Yeah.
And when I was in middle school and moved into the house, I used to set up little camps back there.
Mm-hmm.
But by this point in high school, Gordon felt that was a perfect place to set up a BB gun shooting range.
Nice.
And when you have a BB gun shooting range, you need targets. Now, I wasn't there when he made the decision to shoot up my shit, so why don't you take it from here?
Yeah. I want to hear this.
It was targets of opportunity, so to speak.
Mm. So there.
Unfortunately, when I got bored as a kid, I tend to get destructive. I like to see things come apart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See how they
Not
work.
so much that way these days, thank God. But yeah, I just kind of start lining them up and taking them out. In all fairness, I do apologize.
What?
Oh,
Out
is
of-
this an
out of-
official
out of all
apology?
the stuff we had in the house, I'm sure there was cans in the trash can. I'm sure you had shit you could shoot up.
Very shot at-
Why my stuff?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Well, was it just because you never
Just
destroyed your
not
mom's
thinking.
stuff or anybody else's?
No,
Just
we
not thinking of consequences. Being
course.
a punk kid, man, that was
Yeah.
essentially it.
We had already gotten an early start in which we're all kicking ourselves in the ass for now. But when we were in elementary school and we first moved to Ohio, we got a hold of an inordinate amount of fireworks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're young elementary school kids and middle school kids and you get fireworks, what do you do?
Dude, I take them apart and build a bigger bomb.
Well, you blow shit up.
Yeah, you're damn right.
So what do we blow up, Gordon?
I like to build a lot of models and turn around and blow them up, which is actually a
Damn
good sign.
right.
'Cause
What
if
else
you
did we
never-
blow up that's worth a lot of money right now?
Uh-oh. He's calling
that?
you out, man.
No, I said we, not him. What else did we blow up that's worth a lot of money right now?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
All of our original Star Wars action figures.
Oh yeah.
The
And
two-legged
G.I. Joe.
walker, the
Ooh.
jet ski looking thing, the speeder,
Yeah, land speeder.
Luke Skywalker, the Ewoks, all of them. We we were
Wow.
taping black cats to them. We
Hell yeah.
just blowing the living hell out of them. Just destroyed
Remember
all
that?
of them.
Remember that GI Joe F-14?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was
I
expensive.
did it, but one of my dreams was to take model rocket engines and shove them up inside where the engines go and like
Yeah.
suffer. But
We also
yeah,
Tried to get it to fly.
we
throw
also
some
had the
D
Cobra, the Cobra equivalent of the B-2 bomber.
Oh, did you?
Not
That
the
was
B-2,
cool.
the SR-71 Blackbird. That
Oh,
one.
yeah,
we
yeah,
had
yeah.
that one too.
That's a badass plane, man.
A buddy of mine, Danny, he was the only child.
Mm-hmm,
He lived in the apartment. His mom was retired Navy, and his dad was a Marine Corps gunnery sergeant.
Right.
And I spent a lot of time over there in the summertime. I went down to his basement, and that son of a bitch had the complete full-size aircraft carrier of G.I. Joe
Get out of
set
here.
up in his basement.
Bruh.
He had.
What year do you think? Just real quick. I mean, because that thing
Well, I was
had to have
born in
been almost...
'78, and so I was in elementary school, 5th grade, so
So-
'83.
So, yeah.
right
so
at the
back
prime
then,
of G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I was about to say, so back then, something like that probably cost at least
100,
$70, maybe $100.
$200. Yeah, he had the full
Damn.
aircraft carrier. He had everything.
Wow.
And he also had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we spent a ton of time down there. Funny thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I would spend my summertime down in Kentucky with my mom.
Yeah. You were all over the place, man.
Yeah, I'm a well-traveled person.
That
My
it
cousin at the time, they grew up on top of a holler.
Oh, what?
A holler,
The hell is
the
that?
holler.
a hill.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm going to say a word which brings me into something I was
I'm
going to
just
talk about
curious. I
anyhow.
was like, what is something?
But we'll get into the trailer thing a little bit because there's 3 types of trailers you can live into, which I
Mhm.
won't get into now. But they lived into a trailer up on top of this holler,
Mm-hmm.
and literally, look, you step out of their trailer and there was a
Right.
path, but the front yard was basically
The
60
hill. Yeah,
degree.
the hill just
No,
going
it was
down.
like a 60-degree drop. You had to mow
Okay.
the whole lawn with a weed eater.
Damn.
Their driveway was gravel in the wintertime. Basically, his parents always owned 4Runners, Jeeps, anything 4x4,
Yeah,
because if
have
you
to.
had a car, you couldn't get the.
Yeah, you're not going to get your groceries up.
Well, in front of his trailer, he had a little tree house that he made. And we used to take dental floss. Now, this is right around the time bungee jumping got big. And we would use dental floss as bungee cord for our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And when they would jump, they'd bounce back
Right.
up.
Well, that's true. True.
We used to shoot BB guns off of there.
See, I used to love doing that. I used to love taking action figures and things, and my dad would always get pissed because I'd tie him to the hitch on the car
Mhm.
and just drag stuff down the road, man. You know, just dragging stuff around, destroying stuff.
And
You know.
again, better the toys than a freaking animal, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank
That,
God
yeah,
none
yeah.
of us. I don't think any of us has ever crossed that line. I
No,
know.
no, never. But you know that what's funny is like you guys are saying, you know, all these toys and the amount of money family spends on that sort of stuff, and of course you get older, you get into your your early teens and mid-teens, and you just start destroying all that stuff. And if, like you say, if we would have saved, which fortunately I saved some things. But if you would have saved that stuff, like your Star Wars figures,
Star Wars.
money,
Oh, yeah.
money.
Especially now. You know the
Money.
other thing we did? You know what other movie was big at the time? Mad Max.
Oh, well, that would have to have been the Thunderdome.
Yeah, and Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
So we would
yep.
take all of our pristine Hot Wheels, take hammers to them,
Oh,
flip them over, and scratch them up in the driveway so they
Right.
look like beat up
right.
cars from Mad Max.
Hell yeah.
That way they weren't all pristine because we wanted them to look
Yeah,
authentic to the
yeah.
movie. So we'd sit there and destroy our Matchbox cars with my dad's hammer. We'd scrape them on the sidewalk to scratch all the paint off to get it down to the metal.
Ah,
We were such little shits.
sounds, yeah. Hey, kid, here you go. Here's some new Matchbox cars. And a week later, dude, he shows up or whatever, or he goes to look and they're just thrashed.
I promise you guys
Ah.
we'll leave the memory lane, but
Yeah.
I just had another thought. Remember Gleaming the Cube came out, right?
Oh, hell
Christian
yeah.
Slater skateboard
Yeah,
movie.
man.
Well, Rickenbacker Air Force Base at the time was basically, it was a satellite base. They had air shoes there, and it was pretty much a refueling stop for all the major Air Force
Okay.
planes. Nothing really else was going on there. And Gordon was in Civil Air Patrol, as he talked about last week.
Mhm.
And so he had access to the base. Well, this base was a big place during World War II. I mean, it had a hospital on the outside of the base. It had a movie theater, all these old shipping ramps and all that. And so you didn't even have to get on the base. You'd go down by the perimeter, and there'd just be miles of open blacktop.
Nice.
Nowadays, it's been closed, and now it's basically a FedEx and an Amazon airport.
Okay. Right. Right.
But at the time, it was still an Air Force base. And Gleaming the Cube and Skate or Die was out, right? Now, in the video game Skate or Die, they had the Pugil events, right?
Yup.
Well, Gordon went onto the PX on the Air Force Base, and he got a ton of paracord.
Nice. Okay.
You know
Okay.
paracord
Yeah, I
is,
know.
right?
Yeah,
That's the
yep,
stuff they make
that's-
those-
Yep. For parachutes. Yep.
You remember this, Gordon?
Vaguely.
So then we went home. We popped the heads off two of our stuffed animals,
Yeah.
tied the paracord around it, basically making maces.
Yeah. Right.
And we went down to those areas of streets, and we'd get on our skateboards and throw them
Oh,
around
yeah.
our heads and try.
Like jousting each
Yeah,
other.
we were jousting with basically maces made out of paracord and stuffed animal heads, and try to wrap around each
Wow.
other's legs and yank each other off our skateboards as we were going past. So it's basically like a skateboard equivalent of jousting, but without lances. We had maces made out of
You had
paracord.
maces with stuffed animal heads on there.
And
Whack out.
now you would think, oh, it's a stuffed animal head that don't hurt. Well, one,
Yeah.
stuffed animals have plastic eyeballs,
Yeah, true.
and two, paracord wraps around your leg and leaves rope burn.
Yes, it will.
And so it wasn't a completely victimless crime, but that was the stuff we did. Nowadays, kids are so coddled. If you saw two kids doing that, you'd call the cops on them.
Yeah, people would be like, what are they doing?
They grew up to be giant pusses, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. Bunch of pusses, man. Hey, I guess, we're down memory lane. I want to touch on something here real quick, just a couple things. I want to say Friday night's Hank Williams Jr. concert was awesome.
Shut up.
That was so
I got a text.
badass.
I got a text late Friday that said, hey, we have to go to our niece's first birthday party. Okay, cool, not a problem.
Right.
2 hours later, I get tagged in a Facebook conversation from
Yeah.
one of my customers. I have Hank Williams tickets, looking to give them away for free. Don Abernathy, are you interested? Question mark.
Oh.
And so I had to turn down 2 free tickets to Hank Williams to go to a birthday party.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you guys, I've never seen the guy perform before, and
What's up, Mark? What's up, Mike?
what's up, boys? I don't know, Gordon, are you into Hank Williams Jr. at all?
Actually, I'm still trying to wrap my head around Don saying that he's interested in going to a country concert.
Well,
So,
no, your
no,
brother
we-
listens to a lot of styles of
Well, I
music,
can answer
man.
that question for you.
we listened to a lot of styles too, but we had what we called the Hort Boys in Grove City.
Okay, well, yeah,
Those are
living
all
in Kentucky
redneck.
and
Well,
The
to this
country
day,
guys.
I am not a 90s country fan. I won't
Right.
listen to the Garth Brooks. I won't listen to any of that. To answer your question, Gordon, the reason I like Willie and Waylon and
they're
Bocephus now
badass, man.
is going back to 2000, I found a little band that Dave loves called Rehab.
Yep.
With a fella named Brooks Buford.
Yeah, I love him.
We'll get into that here shortly.
No, we're not.
Let's just say Brooks and Dave shared the same woman.
All right, okay.
Okay, and so Rehab, the original band, because they've had 14 different variants, was
Yes, they have.
Danny Boone
Yeah.
and Brooks Buford, who Dave shared a woman with.
All right.
And they're back, aren't they?
Is that? I don't know. If that's
I
Brooks,
have
he's
no
gained
clue.
like 88 pounds. That doesn't look like
It
Brooks.
could very
Not
well
Brooks,
be.
It's Danny.
Yeah, Danny and some other white dude that looks very actually looks like a guy I used to know who worked at K-Rock named Tallulah.
But anyway, so let's.
But anyhow, so I was a big Rehab fan, and
Mm-hmm.
they're from outside of Georgia, and they had a very country sound to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they broke up, got back together. Well, then when Average Joe Records came out, which is the country hip hop label, all these country rappers, they could rap, but they couldn't sing to save their lives. That's why they're rapping and not doing country music.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, Danny Boone can sing. He used to be in church choir and all that, and he can carry a note.
Okay.
So Average Joe Records start using Danny Boone to do all the choruses in their country hip hop songs. And while listening to the Rehab station on Pandora, I started hearing some of these other songs that he was in and
Right.
making appearances on. That and Demon Jones was part of the second variant of Rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hear him singing on Charlie Farley songs. I would hear him singing on Georgia Boy songs and a handful of other songs. And so I said, well, hey, let's continue to support Danny Boone. Well, then I found this big fat son of a bitch named Jelly Roll.
Yep.
And Jelly Roll and Haystacks, they're pretty good. They're a little hardcore, but they're good. And Jelly Roll, his buddy finally got out of prison, who was arrested for selling cocaine, much like his grandfather. This gentleman by the name of Struggle Jennings. Now, if that name sounds familiar, yes, Waylon Jennings is his grandfather. His mom is Waylon's daughter.
I thought it was Shooter.
No, Shooter Jennings was his nephew or his
Okay.
other son.
Okay.
Waylon Jennings' daughter, her son is a guy named Struggle Jennings. That's his
Okay.
hip hop
Okay.
name.
Gotcha.
Well, after Struggle got out of prison for selling coke, much like his granddaddy, I started listening to them. And one of the smart things that Struggle does, because of the because the Jennings family still owns rights to all of the Waylon Jennings songs, or at least a lot of them.
Yeah.
As that stuff works, whenever you play a Waylon Jennings songs on the radio or anywhere else, you got to pay royalties.
Absolutely.
That gets kicked down the family. Well, if your family has rights to this music and you're a hip hop artist in a country, you're going to start using some of your granddad's songs as your background. So not only is your record label going to pay your family for rights to use those songs, but whenever those songs play, you're getting paid and more money is getting kicked down to your family in royalty fees. That was me. So that was very smart on his part. And so I started hearing more of this Waylon Jennings stuff, and then they would actually and my mom will always listen to Willie. So long story short, through rehab and country hip hop, I started listening to Willie. I started listening to Waylon,
Johnny Cash,
listening to Johnny Cash's old stuff, and of course, the Highwaymen and all that stuff. And then through listening to Dropkick Murphy's channel, I was introduced to some of these other what I've been calling New Age bluegrass, because a lot of mandolin and fiddles and all that. And that's where I found the Dead South, the Turnpike Troubadours, Coulter Wall, and all them. And so now I literally listen to everything. I listen to 40s music from World War II. I listen to old outlaw country. I listen to this New Age bluegrass. I listen to the metal. I mean, so like you and I have discussed before,
yes, we have.
One of the funniest things about music I have found the people who claim to be quote unquote open-minded when it comes to music are actually the most closed-minded, because they only listen to one particular type of music.
So what do you think about that, Gordon?
Is that the answer you're looking for?
No, that's fine.
That, and I live in Florida and I drive a truck.
That's fine. I just, real quick though, the guy put on an amazing show. I know he was going up for, I think it was the Swanee Fest in Live Oak on Saturday, but he still at 69 years old, the guy still has it. He's still up there jamming out, still tight. The band was tight. I was very impressed. My first time, and probably only time I'm ever going to get to see the guy. But man, to hear those songs in person and to see him moving around and that swagger of just that outlaw, man, was awesome. That was awesome. That was really, really damn cool, man. I mean, damn cool.
Well, I had to stop the other day, and I wanted to bring it up, and we just kind of mentioned it, trailers. Now, when people hear trailers, they just assume trailer park, right? Trailer park and trailer trash.
Well,
Well,
I don't. When I hear trailers, I'm thinking, you're towing a boat or something, but go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking
When
about
someone says, I live in a trailer.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, I didn't. Okay.
A lot of times you assume trailer park.
Yeah, true.
White trash.
Yeah.
Cops. All that fun stuff.
Single wide, 10 shit boxes.
There are
There
three
you go.
types of trailers. Yes, you have your trailer parks. Those are people who tend to usually be extremely poor, or people who are retired and didn't have a very good retirement plan and can't afford to live anywhere else. So no reason to discuss that.
No.
If you're here in Florida, you have your gated trailer park communities, and that's where people who retired up north, who want to spend all their money on boats and more lavish things, they live in these nice, clean, gated trailer parks.
Yeah.
And then you have the third type, and this is the type, as I mentioned before with my cousin, they had, and that is when you live out in the middle of nowhere, particularly up on a hill, where it's so hard to get material to it that to build a house, the cost would be tripled just by shipping the parts to the location.
Right.
Because, for example, where they lived, it would have been next impossible to get an 18-wheeler up there with a bed full of material.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're saying.
Happen.
Well, D-Train, the trailer's the same width as the double wide, blah, 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 blah. But once again, that cost of moving said trailer up to that point is built into the cost of trailer.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're building a house, that's extra cost. And so a lot of times when people say they live in a trailer, those who live out in the country, they're literally living on 10, 15, 20 acres of land.
Hell yeah, they are.
And they don't spend a whole lot of time inside.
Nope.
And so then they go out and get the double wide, or And by the way, double wide
Yep.
trailers now are
Oh, I
almost
know.
they're freaking insane.
Like some badass tour buses, man. They got them pimped out.
Oh,
man.
they've gotten so crazy now that down in Malibu, you don't know about this, but down in Malibu, they're taking these modular homes
Yep.
and they're stacking them, making them 2-story, and then people are living right on the beach in what we would consider trailers.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind next time you hear somebody, particularly someone from the country or who lives out like nowhere, Texas or Montana, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere.
And I tell you what, if you look at the construction methods of those modular homes versus stick homes, I hate to say it, but they're actually built to a tighter tolerance and a better standard.
Well, they have to
yeah.
because they got to travel down the road at 60 miles an hour.
And not only that, they're being shipped all over the country, so you're going to have building codes that are not necessarily the same here as they are in Oklahoma or, well, Oklahoma tornado zone, California. You know, you have all these different kind of earthquake anchors and stuff when you're building stuff here. There's hurricane windows now without having to put up shutters.
I mean, I've seen trailers
So,
with garden tubs in
yeah,
them, full-size kitchens.
They're building these things to be able to be shipped all over the country. So
Now,
you're
I
right.
will say some of the accoutrements, like your bedroom doors and all that, they're the same hollow core crap
Right.
you have here, but you can
Yeah.
just switch those out with solid core just like you can anywhere
Yeah,
else.
ultralight duty, ultralight duty. So one thing I want to hit here, because people have been kind of asking me what's up, and I'm not going to get into it hardcore because it is kind of a little bit of a downer situation, but I just want to let everybody know that's listening that my brother is sick, man. You know D-Train. I want to give
Well, you kind of hinted around it on the last episode
Yeah,
you were on about his health being an issue.
I want to give him a big shout out to get well, and I'm here for you. The family's here for you. D-Train's here for you. Gordon, we're all here for you. So, brother, just stay cool, stay positive. I want to give a big shout out real quick to my big brother as well, Rich, and his wife Leah. And I was so stoked to see my older brother. I haven't seen him since 2012, 13.
Why so long?
It's just,
Ships in the night?
well, yeah, man, we're all doing stuff. And
Well, I didn't know if
everybody's-
maybe he came to town when you were out of town and things
No,
like that.
no. It's just been busy. The last time I saw him is when I got back from Los Angeles, and he had my truck at his house, and I spent, I don't know, 24 hours or so hanging out with him before I came back here. But I just want to say it was cool seeing my older brother. It was probably the first time us three brothers have been in the same room. Granted, it wasn't cool being in a hospital room, but we were all there together for the first time. And gosh, man, it has to have been, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. So that was really cool, and I was really stoked. But get well, middle bro. We're gonna beat this, and I'll get into more about what's going on with him. Now, people are wondering, why in the hell do I go to Dollar General? Have you heard about this?
No one wonders. We all know you're broke, and that's where broke people go.
Well, not necessarily.
I
They
have a
got
better
good
question.
Stuff.
I bought you a custom-made $25 Waterman D-Train
Yes,
show
you
hat,
have.
and you continue to wear your cheap-ass,
Well,
busted-ass, broke-ass
no.
Dollar General hat.
Dude, I don't have a hat. I've been wearing.
Well, it's just sticking in D-Train's craw. You got to
Look, dude, I haven't been wearing a
I bought
hat.
you a shirt.
I
I've
haven't
seen it
been-
once.
I haven't
I
been
bought you a
wearing a
hat.
hat.
You're the only one on the planet Earth with that hat, and I haven't seen it.
I haven't been wearing it because I got my nice new, Everclear hair that I got kicking right now.
How does that help promote the show with your hair?
Well, you're right.
you
You're
know how
right.
many people
No,
had
I
asked
have.
me what Digital 410 is because of my Digital 410 hat?
Well, it doesn't mean that I'm okay. I got you.
I didn't
I'll
make
start
you a
sporting it
custom-made
more.
hat to sit on your shelf
But-
where people can't see it.
I understand. Now look, people are seeing me out and about, and if you listen to the big show on K-Rock on Friday, you'll know that there's people or a gentleman that is taking pictures of me out and about in public and sending them in like
Okay.
he's a PI.
Well, let me answer your question with a
And
question.
that's just weirding me out that people are doing stuff like this,
If
man.
someone sees you in a Dollar General, that means they are at the Dollar General.
Well, absolutely.
So if they're shopping at the Dollar General, why do they give two shits and a half-ass fuck if you're shopping at the Dollar?
I
By the way,
don't-
people, I shop at the
No.
Dollar General. I try to get my dog food,
And there's
my
no
cat
secret
litter,
that-
my sodas,
I love the
because
Dollar.
there's one like right over here I could run to.
I love the Dollar General. It just freaked me out as we're doing the show Friday, and a picture comes up and it says, Why is the Waterman at Dollar General all the time?"
Well, you know what
Because
you wanted?
it's right there by my house.
You know what you
okay?
wanted? Fame.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not.
Hey,
I'm
man,
not a
paparazzi
fame
comes along with
guy
fame.
or
That's
any-
what
I'm
you
not-
want. You've
I'm
been
not-
chasing the fame dragon.
No, I'm not out looking for that D train. No. It's just weird that
It is
people-
creepy.
you know what I'm saying?
It's
just
happened to
creepy,
me one
bro.
time, and we talked about this before. I don't have health insurance.
Right.
I don't have dental insurance. And like a year and a half ago, the Florida League of Dentals Without Borders or whatever it was, they went down to the Civic Center and they set up shop.
That's right.
And they were doing free dental care.
Mm-hmm.
And Stan knew that I had a tooth that was bothering me.
Yeah, you
That
were
was
in
pretty
bad
much
shape.
bad. And he said, hey, I saw this on the news. You need to get your ass down there. So I got up at the ass crack of dawn thinking I'd be the first in line. Turns out I was not. And so I sat in line from 6 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. Went in there and I got 2 fillings and was on my way. And I left.
Mm-hmm.
No shame in my game. 2 days later, at the station, someone sent in a picture of me standing in line.
Like,
At
look.
like, what is he doing here?
Right.
It's like, dude, I don't make any money. I don't have insurance. I'm here because I'm broke.
Yeah, and
But I just thought it was weird. It's like, it's a little creepy.
Yeah, this has happened a couple times now, but this one really bothered me because it was like, I got an idea who this person might be. I think I've ran into him before a few months back. But, excuse me. But it was just odd that, excuse me, because I was
Drink
far.
your tea, fool.
I am, man. It's-
While he's drinking the tea, I'll give him
I
a
was
second.
real quick. I was going into the store, and you can see by the way the photo was taken, the guy's in the back parking lot.
Okay.
Like he's not pulled up close to the door.
So he wasn't shopping. He was following you.
That's the way
Things
it
you
felt.
do when you're a stalker.
Dave's got a paparazzi stalker.
It was odd,
I
man.
think that this hoe likes me. Yeah. she
It was
tells you
just
to fuck
odd.
off
It was
with
just
such
odd,
class.
and I thought,
Well,
well,
what
has this
the
guy
heck
got
is-
nothing else, huh? I mean, it's cool. I get, maybe the guy he thought, hey, maybe this will make Stan laugh by me taking a picture of the Waterman going into the store.
But once again, we all know you're broke.
Well, I'm not.
It's
you
not
know
a
what?
secret, and if
I'm
it
not
would be-
that
It
broke.
would be more.
Train hat on,
Go
you
ahead.
would have been advertising.
What's that?
Said if you had the Waterman and D-Train hat on, you would have been advertising.
No.
Well, I was working for K-Rock, so I was
and
wearing.
it's not like you're on video, but anyhow,
Ha ha. ha.
it would have been more surprising to me if he caught you shopping like at some high-end, super expensive place. Because then the question would be, well, if you're always claiming to be broke, what are you doing shopping here?
Well,
That
absolutely.
would be photo worthy, like
Yeah.
a picture of Dave at Ruth Chris eating a steak, something like that, or you shopping out at Trader Joe's and buying like stacks of steaks and pork chops. But you
Yep.
shopping at a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, no, it's not surprising. We all shop there.
We
We're all
all
broke.
go there, man. We all go there, and they've got great prices and great deals on things. I just thought it was a little odd that this guy either has been sitting on this picture because I can't tell. I don't know what day.
Was your hair blonde in it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, well,
So
then
it's
it's relatively new.
recent. It's recent. So I don't know. I just thought it was a little odd. I said, So now I'm really on point and on the whole looking around at my surroundings again because I kind of let my guard down a little bit there. And being in the business we are in, I'm not saying we're superstars or anything like that, but people recognize voices when we're in stores. I'm sure it's happened
Actually,
to you.
it just happened to me yesterday.
So-
I went to Tropical Smoothie down
Right.
here on Pine Island. Put in my order. Guy named Sam reached out, said D-Train, right? I
Right.
said, absolutely. Shook his hand, and I gave him the Waterman
Very
D-Train
cool.
sticker that I keep in the back of my cell phone case because
Okay.
I hooked him up. But yeah, it happens very rarely, but occasionally
Right.
it does happen.
Yeah.
And I'm still at the point where I don't know how to handle it per se.
Okay.
Not emotionally or anything like that, but
Right.
what always happens, you just say, you're D-Train,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hey, what's up, man?
And then I stop.
That's all.
And
you
of course
can-
they stop because they don't know.
they're
And
expecting
then they
maybe
turn
a little
around,
bit
and
of
then
a-
I think, am I an asshole? Was I supposed to
For
do more? Or was
not
I
engaging.
And I didn't even ask the guy's name. And so when the girl brought me my food, I said, "What was his name?" She said, "Sam." And I said, "Well, give that to Sam." I was expecting him to come back,
Yeah.
but he didn't. But every time that happened, well, even though it happens
I'm sure it's
seldomly,
happened
when
more
it does
than once,
happen,
I know.
every time it does happen, I walk away thinking, did I do enough?
Right.
I feel like
Did
they're
I-
walking away saying, "Wow, that I met D-Train. He kind of blew me off. He's an asshole." It's like, but we're all just regular people.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to handle it.
I'm
Even after working
living-
with Stan Haney for 5.5 years, and
Right.
that's where most people know me from.
Absolutely.
It's weird when it happens.
Yeah, it is a little odd, and I know the guys they deal with it too. I know Stan deals with it a lot at the Publix.
No, absolutely,
He
because
says,
not only
he
is
talks
he
about it on the
do-
show.
not only does he have a 4-hour show, but he
Yes.
does voices and commercials.
Absolutely,
The people
hear
who
him
buy
all
those
the time.
commercials put those commercials on other stations, and so you hear his kind of like him and Rick Peterson. I'm sure
Right.
Rick Peterson, people hear his voice all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Real
he
quick,
probably
via
gets asked.
Facebook live stream, what's up, John Kraft? He said, "Yo, streaming on the way home from the Mid Ohio Sports Center sports cars course." So I think he's been out racing.
Nice. Is that the gentleman that's got the stickers on his on the inside there?
Yeah, on the inside of his race car.
He's like little alternator switches or whatever. Not I forget what he's got, man. He's got.
If
like
you guys
oil
want
pressure
stickers,
switches.
send an email to info@d-410.com. I threw this up on Facebook last week, and a bunch of people asked for stickers, and those are on their way. My boy Sean Bennett in Columbus, Ohio, yours is on the way.
Nice.
Thanks for all that support. And while we're at it, this episode of the Waterman and D-Train Show is brought to you by our friends at Computers. Computers has been providing IT support for all of Southwest Florida since 2004. Though they do specialize in veterinarian care, that is not their only thing they do. Anybody with small businesses, whether you have 3 computers or a server and 15 computers or 16 or 20 or what have you, they got clients with multiple sites that all connect. If you need two-form authentication for remote software, they can help you out with that. If you're concerned about online backups, you're worried about when your computer crashes and the person you assigned to run backups every night's been shirking on his duties, online backups are a way to go. They run automatically. Not only do they run automatically, but Computers logs into their systems every single morning to make sure your backups ran. Antivirus, Gordon knows about it. We resell Viper antivirus. It's not resource intensive. It doesn't pop up with, hey, I didn't find anything on your computer like other antivirus.
Right.
It only tells you when it finds something wrong. Other than that, it leaves you the hell alone.
Very cool.
So Computers, give them a call at 239-283-1120 or go to their website, act-capecoral.com. Now I know what you're saying, D-Train. Dude, I am driving home from the Mid-Ohio Sports Course. I can't use the service. Well, that's incorrect. As long as you have internet, they can help by simply directing you to act-capecoral.com. Up in the top right-hand corner, it'll say click here for remote support. They'll connect over the internet and resolve all your issues. Give them a call, 239-283-1120. And thanks to the person who mentioned my name, someone did one of those Facebook recommendations.
Oh, yeah?
I need a computer guy in town.
Okay,
Someone just
okay.
put D-Train and it popped up, and I threw the phone number out there.
Beautiful, man.
Had another person private message me asking me for information.
Beautiful.
So you guys are supporting the cause. Thank you so much for that.
That is awesome, man.
If you don't need computer repair and you're an Amazon shopper, go to d-410.com. Click on the Amazon link, save it in your favorites, put it in your toolbar, or drag and drop it to your desktop. The next time you go to Amazon, click on that link either in your toolbar or on your desktop. It'll take you to Amazon. Do your shopping like you normally do. It doesn't cost you an extra dime, nickel, penny, whatever, but they will kick us some coinage for allegedly sending you to Amazon. So you can support the show that way. Obviously, we have the t-shirts at d-410.com. And one more thing, Dave and I just filmed a video that none of y'all are going to see. It's going to be behind the paywall, if you will, for the Patreon subscribers. We got to give you guys a little extra for supporting the show.
Yeah.
And there are 3 tiers. The lowest one is $1. That's the $1 baller plan. Look, I tried to go 50 cents. I know we're all broke.
They won't let you.
They won't let me, so $1. And once again, this isn't the, hey, it's $1 a month, but you got to sign up for 24 months. We're going to take $24. No, they literally, beginning of every month, take $1 out of your account. So they're not going to hit you.
Just $1.
There's a $1 plan. There's a $3.
Beautiful.
The OG5 plan is $3.50, which is
Right
ironic
on.
because it's not $5.
Yeah, I was about to say, okay.
And then the Big Baller T-shirt plan is $7.50 a month. After month 2, I will send you an email asking you what T-shirt size you are and what shirt you want and what color, and I will send you a free T-shirt.
That is awesome.
And once I get this video edited, because even though I'm a computer guy, my laptop crashed on me when I was trying to edit the latest version of the half-ass review, which thanks to all you guys for voting on the new logo. Give credit where credit is due. Dave don't know what I'm talking about because he's not on Facebook.
Nope.
We put a Facebook poll up. There was 2 logos for the new half-ass review. I invented logo 1, and I shot it to Gordon. I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, well, I like it, but what if we do this? Why don't you take the word ass off a half-ass, move the donkey's, because it's basically half of a donkey's ass.
Okay.
And he said, move that over. And so I made that, put up the poll, and Gordon's
There you
logo won out. I think
Beautiful.
like by 65 votes. So
All right.
thanks
Yeah,
to you all
yeah.
for voting for that.
Sweet, man. Sweet.
And that covers all that.
Right on. And if you guys want to give us a call right now, you can give us a call, area code 239-990.
Martin Mazika, I would love to sponsor a Little League team, but right now we don't have any money.
Yeah, we got.
Once all the love
yep.
starts coming our way, we can gather up that love and send it back out in forms of sponsorship. But right now, we're trying to buy better microphones and bigger mixing board and perhaps a better studio.
You know,
But I do appreciate the suggestion.
check it out. Obviously I wasn't here last week. It's been a little sporadic with me with things going on at the house and stuff. I did an event as well last Saturday. It was Safe Kids Day over at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Cool.
And I got to say, I was a little nervous being there and around all the different branches, SWAT.
Why?
Well, because it's just
You
because.
weren't holding. You weren't rolling
No,
dirty,
I'm not
so-
doing nothing like
Oh,
that.
I'm just saying,
It's
if you're
just-
not rolling dirty, what are you worried
No,
about?
it's just being around that many officers. But I gotta say, and I'm not going to use his last name, but Lee County Sheriff Officer Daryl.
Yeah, I saw the
and-
picture on Instagram.
Yeah, he knows. That guy was top notch, and I just want to say incredible. The hospitality was great. The DEA, they were phenomenal to me. Thank you guys over at the Drug Enforcement Administration and all the other branches around Lee, Collier, Charlotte counties, Hendry counties. Everybody was out there for this. But I want to say thank you, Daryl. That was really cool, and I will be in touch with you. But what a great event! What a great event! They had a NASCAR experience. Like a DUI drive thing.
Oh yeah, where
yeah.
like slowed down the response time and all that.
We were on, yeah, and they do it with the Daytona.
And you sat
Speedway.
down and you crushed it, didn't you?
Dude, I killed it. Killed it, son.
This ain't
Killed
amateur
it.
hour.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I killed it, man. The guy was like, right on. I was like, don't worry. You get that little bump where you slide to the right and left, and I got the wheel, and I'm just like, little. Little fishtail here and there on Daytona, man, but recovered and kept going, man. Pedal to the metal, man. Balls to the wall. But thank you, Daryl. I really appreciate you giving me the time to run a couple laps around Daytona in your NASCAR experience DUI trainer. That was awesome. It's also a text trainer for texting and driving.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're going to be updating it for a marijuana while you're smoking.
So it's just gonna go like max speed
Yeah.
of 7 miles an hour.
yeah, right, yeah. And it's gonna be a low rider, and you're gonna be, jamming out. But no, it was awesome, man. I just want to say thank you guys. What a great event that was. So,
If you have a question, comment, or a bad thing to say about us, give us a call and tell us how bad we suck.
Yeah.
239-990-2769. What's going on with you, Gordon? We've been kind of talking.
yeah,
over
sorry
topic.
about that, bud. I'm just trying to catch up here.
I'm beginning to think that 2019 is the year of the pest for our house.
Uh-oh.
First, it was the pigeons.
First it was the pigeons, and then we apparently had a rat. Cleaned everything up, threw out the snap traps. Never caught anything, but when I was doing that, I had noticed behind our hot tub we have a bamboo that we had put on the wall, and it stands off the depth of the 2x4. Well, something was digging a hole in the gravel and pushing it out.
Well, real quick, for those of you who aren't familiar with the West Coast style, every house, is, instead of having vinyl privacy fences, they have cinder block walls. And so Gordon didn't want to stare at cinder block, and so he basically put strips of 3-inch by
Vinyl.
2-inch wood, nailed it in, and then attached bamboo to that. And so instead
Okay.
of having a cinder block wall, he has a bamboo wall all around his
Nice,
house.
man.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I'm like, well, there's this hole here. There's no rat crap. There's no gnaw marks in the bamboo. There's no rubbing marks from the rats. And I haven't seen rat crap. And I even bought some more poison. I'm wondering if I have a snake. There is a lot across the street from us, about 10 acres, that is completely being built up, excavated right now. So I'm thinking something may have been displaced. But it's almost like a perfectly round hole.
Well, if it's a snake and you see it, if it doesn't have a rattle on it, if it's not poisonous, leave it be, because that'll help attend to your rat problem.
Exactly. We
I got-
have 3 types of rattlers here. We
Yeah.
have copperheads, we have rat snakes, and garter snakes.
Yep, Western Diamondback.
Yes, we have the Western Diamondback, we have the Mojave Green, and a Sidewinder.
What about a mole? Do you think it could be a mole of some sort?
I don't know if moles move rocks, gravel around or not.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah,
Hell
they-
yeah, they will, man.
They're earth movers, man.
Yeah.
They're the Mother Nature's bulldozers.
Them bad boys, yeah.
Very well. I'll be fine with a mole.
Because I got a black snake that lives in my
the-
backyard, and I don't even mess with it. 'Cause
Yeah. No.
that's
Yeah.
rodent control.
Yep, absolutely. Well, if it is a
Yeah,
snake, Gordon, yeah, I mean, if you can, finally set you up a little critter cam and see if you can get
Well, what
a
I've
picture of
done
it.
is I have a camera on the east side of my house that
Okay.
typically
East
faces
side?
the fence. East side, and then
I
I
represent the
pivoted
west
over
side,
to
but
pick
no
up a
peace.
spa and everything behind it. So hopefully in the next week I'll figure out what's going on over there.
Yeah. So it's not really causing too much problems though, right? You're just noticing holes being dug underneath.
Just one hole, yeah. I
Yeah,
just want
right
to make
hole.
sure again it's not a rat.
Mm,
That's it's roof rats are on the increase in this town
yeah.
with everything else. So we will see. And I know you guys know all about roof rats.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we
Shoot.
call them
Training.
palm rats.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, them
Somebody
bad boys run all
something
over.
scurrying around in his ceiling
Hmm.
recently.
So I know we got people listening to us all over the country, but we're going to go a little regional here real quick.
Let's do it.
For those of you who live in Southwest Florida, particularly Fort Myers, we had the zombie con shooting a few years ago,
Oh yeah.
and they finally captured the guy.
Yes, they did.
We had the officer shot probably about 8 years ago.
Hmm.
Occasionally there's some bullshit that hops off downtown, but with that being said, any major city has bullshit. Hell, Cape Coral has
Absolutely.
stuff popping off all the time, but they don't get a bad rap. Downtown Fort Myers, i.e. the River District, they have spent years revitalizing, and it's fucking
It
beautiful.
looks beautiful down there, don't it?
It's amazing. They redid all the brick road. They're building skyscrapers down there. Well, skyscraper. I'm from the hill. Look at all the skyscrapers. Now they're building, taller buildings. 16.
Condos, yep.
And it's beautiful. But with that being said, because of all the violence in the past, it's kind of got a reputation as being not the safest place in the world to be.
Yeah.
I can agree to that at 3:30 in the morning when the bars are letting out and people are drunk and fighting. And I have a veterinarian clinic that's down there, and I was asking the girl the same question, and which is, do you think downtown Fort Myers has kind of gotten a bad rap for being a violent place?
Right.
And here's why I bring it up. By the way, I ran 11 miles this morning.
Well, good
New
for you.
personal best. But
Right
2
on.
weeks ago, I ran 8.5 miles.
All right.
And you know where the Edison Country Club is, right? Way down on McGregor?
Mm-hmm.
We run from there all the way up past the Edison and Ford vacation homes.
Okay.
Actually, we run through the $1 million neighborhood across from the Edison.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come
Yeah.
up, run down McGregor, past the Edison and Ford home. Then we hang the left, go in front of Pinter's Crab Shack. Anyhow, we get down to Centennial Park,
Right.
and they got something being set up. And everybody has these shirts on that say Zookeepers. I don't know what it is,
Uh-huh.
but
All
they
right.
just say Zookeepers.
All right.
But I noticed now it's at this point 6:30 in the morning,
Okay.
and they have an armed guard just hanging out there.
Well.
Not an off-duty police officer, but a dude with a open carry. He's an
Yeah,
armed guard.
yeah.
Of course, he's on his phone, not doing much guarding. But I'm thinking every Sunday, if you guys don't believe me, you can go. Today was super busy. There's probably about 30 to 40 different people down there, and usually in groups of 5 to 6 running.
Oh yeah.
And 82% of them are women, probably in the ages of late 20s up to mid 50s.
Okay. Okay.
And they start running at night. We get down there at 5:30.
Uh huh.
None of us are carrying. None of us have been accosted.
Right.
None of us have been mugged, shot, murdered. And we're all down there running with earbuds in. It's not like we're not easy prey.
Yeah, it's not like and
And so I'm
you're
thinking,
in a group, so
every Sunday there's tons of women and dudes running down here, and nothing ever happens. But because of the reputation downtown has gotten, this group of zookeepers felt the need to hire an armed guard while they're setting up. Once again, I didn't stay down there long enough to see
exactly
what
what
they're
was
setting up.
shaking down.
But I just thought it was sad that they felt it was a need
Yeah.
to hire someone.
Well, I wonder
to-
how late they were out there. If they were out there all night, I could see
It was
something
7
like that.
in the morning, though.
Well,
It's not like this was 7 at night and
okay.
it was getting dark. This was 7 a.m.
And
And once again, thugs.
are there cameras up there? Because remember they
I'm
installed
sure there
all those.
are. But
Remember they installed
my
all those.
point being is thugs and assholes. They don't say, "Hey,
Oh,
let's get up at 5:30 on
come
a
on.
Sunday and go mug some people."
oh,
no,
yeah, let's make sure
that
we're on
shit
time.
usually pops off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday after everybody's drunk and their testosterone's boiling over and they're
Yes.
out looking for a fight or they're tracking down somebody who has something coming to them. They don't get up at the
No.
ass crack of dawn on a Sunday and want to go, harass
Oh, yeah.
random people.
Oh yeah, hey, guess what? Let's get up and we got to go have a cup of coffee, and then let's go make sure we're there at 7:30 for our harassment.
If you watch enough episodes of the first 48 or any of those quote unquote reality like homicide shows,
Yeah,
you
I
would
don't.
know that 85 to 92% of those murders are a result in poor life choices.
Of course. Yes.
Every
yes.
one of them who gets killed usually knows the perpetrator.
Absolutely.
Out of every episode I saw, only one episode was a lady completely innocent victim. She owned a jewelry store. Two guys killed her to get her key so they can go rob her jewelry.
And she probably knew them. They've probably
No.
stopped in there at some point.
No, but
No.
all the rest of them is
Yeah.
usually a result of whether a drug
Yeah.
deal gone bad, cheating spouses,
Yeah.
gang related. It's all usually
Yes.
very seldomly are you just, especially down in Fort Myers and small towns like this, are you just an innocent victim minding your own business and some dude just comes up and shoots you
Yeah.
for no good reason.
And I'm going to be honest.
Not that I'm saying there's a good reason to shoot people,
No,
but my
there's
point
not.
being is, if you unless you're a psychopath looking for a body count, I'm talking about a one-on-one. Just hey, Bob got shot downtown because he was setting up his booth at the zookeeper convention. I don't know. I just think that it's gotten kind of a bad rep down there. I don't
So you're
ever
thinking
feel
it's better. It's getting better.
I don't feel unsafe down there at all.
No, I've never have.
I mean,
never
every
have.
Saturday there's, every Sunday they have farmers markets
Right.
down there. They get art. There's constantly.
And here's the thing.
They have done such a great job down there that there's always something going
Yeah.
on.
And here's the thing, brother, and you know it as well as I do. There is no good time or regular time for people that have something bad on their agenda to go out and do. They're going to do it no matter what time of day or night it is. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Stuff is going down, man. And people like that, they have no fear of consequence. That's why you see. That's why when you see something, oh man, that happened at 2:30 in the afternoon. That's crazy. Why wouldn't you do it at night? Some people they don't have any. I don't even know what words to even use for something like that. It doesn't matter. Any day or any time of day or night, people are going to be getting in trouble. Just like the guy that got killed on the Parkway the other morning.
Glad you brought that up. I have that on my list of shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's actually tell you what.
And I'm going to be honest with you real quick. Where he was coming from.
Well, hold on. We're going to talk about that. It's on my list of shit. I'll let you contribute. So let's just go ahead and get into this.
I'd like to be mayor.
Whoop, wrong button. Joining us via live from satellite from the Waterman D Train news desk, it is our news anchorman, Gordon Abernathy. Gordon, how are you doing tonight? Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I'm
breaking
sorry, live from
back-
satellite.
Satellite feeds a little
Live
10
from
second delay,
satellite, so
everybody.
we got to wait 10 seconds.
Yeah, we're having a little audio difficulty.
Yeah.
But we'll clear that up.
We're clearing it up. We'll fix that in post.
Well, before we get to the Vegas news, we're going to go ahead and get into the local news because Dave brought it up. Let me just read it real quick. Police released the name of man killed in a hit-and-run crash on Cape Coral Parkway. A 71-year-old man dead after being hit by a vehicle. First line, a vehicle. Remember that. A vehicle. Friday morning in Cape Coral. A 71-year-old man is dead after being hit by a vehicle. A vehicle.
A vehicle.
Write that down. A vehicle.
All right, I got you.
Friday morning in Cape Coral. Police said the hit-and-run crash happened around 6:30 a.m. at the intersection of Cape Coral Parkway and Coronado Parkway. Cape Coral officers said that the driver of the vehicle was traveling westbound on Cape Coral Parkway out on the outside lane, approaching the intersection of Coronado Parkway when he struck and killed Gregory Moore of Cape Coral. Police said Moore was walking north across the westbound lane of Cape Coral Parkway, and as Gordon likes to point out, was not using the marked crosswalk when he was hit. The vehicle then continued west on Cape Coral Parkway and fled the scene. On Friday afternoon, police said they had a person of interest in a possible vehicle involved in the crash. Saturday morning, police said the driver voluntarily came forward. Police are questioning them, but the name has not been released.
Huh.
Now, I have pointed out the phrase, a vehicle.
Right.
Now, as stated earlier, I was at a party on Friday.
Mm.
And I'm not going to throw this person under the bus and say how they know this. I'm just going to say someone who is very, very familiar with the situation relayed to me, because this is 2019 and everybody's on their fucking phones or driving down the road.
course.
This guy was not hit by a vehicle.
Uh-oh.
This guy was hit by a vehicle and estimated the 5 vehicles following the first.
What?
He was hit by multiple vehicles because no one's paying attention to what the fuck they're doing, and was basically splattered all over the street.
Oh.
Was in very, very, very poor condition when the body was recovered.
Oh, I seen.
And so, people. Now, of course, the first person who did it, who ran, is going to get in trouble.
Damn right.
But the
Better.
argument can be made that possibly, if the 3 to 4 other cars were paying attention and didn't hit him, that possibly he could be alive today.
He could have lived, yeah.
He may have just had a broken leg, fucked up arm. But the fact that he was actually hit by multiple vehicles and basically flattened out.
Oh, it was. Oh.
Because no one's paying attention, and as we know, because street lamps are few and far between in this town.
Well.
But even still, everybody has their headlights on. It's 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But thank you, Dennis Craig.
What'd
Dennis
he say?
Gregg. Dennis, thank you. He just subscribed. He is
Beautiful.
Patreon number 3.
Thank you, brother. Thank you
so much for
Mr.
that.
Dennis. Now, here's the thing: is I was on my way into Broadcast House down in Estero, and as I'm heading down, I didn't think about it. I totally forgot. And they had obviously westbound closed, and people were trying to go and hit 47th to get around. Now,
Which, by the way, on a normal weekday around that time, people don't know that someone got ran over because so many people work in Fort Myers that Cape Coral Parkway is always a parking lot that time of day.
Yes, it is. It was jammed. But this was jammed all the way up until mid-morning, late afternoon. I'm sure it was for a long, long time. But I felt so bad. Now that you're saying that it was multiple vehicles, because I looked at the size of the tarp. Typically, now look, I've worked in the tow truck business. I've been on many fatality scenes, from pedestrians to car accidents, and
one of the parts of your job, unfortunately, was to clean the street, including the biohazard.
Yeah, clean things, and it was pretty intense. I've seen things that no normal person should ever see. But this guy's tarp was laid out a pretty wide swath. So if you're saying what's really happened, he got hammered, bro. And you're right, he might have lived because it's right there. It's 35 miles an hour in that particular zone. There are a lot of lights because it's across from a major pharmacy and another big store right there. But that is a dangerous intersection in itself, because on that backside going towards the little Cape Coral beach and everything down there, and the laundromat and a couple of apartment complexes back up in there, it can be a little bit of a rough area. So this guy, obviously, I'm curious of if he was on anything.
No, he wasn't on anything. What happens, because you walk. When you're walking long distances.
But I look, man.
And you need to get to a place. A lot of times the place you need to get to is 2 blocks before the crosswalk.
Of course. So you're going to cut.
Yes, you're going to jaywalk across the road. But the problem is crosswalks are at intersections, which mean they are well lit. Cape Coral Parkway has a median down it with palm trees.
Yes, it
and
does.
Other types of vegetation to make it pretty. And so this person could have made it across the first 2 lanes and then was basically hiding behind a palm tree and getting ready to cross the other 2 lanes, and the driver didn't see him coming.
Yes, you can see where that was very possible.
And
because
it's dark because there's no lights because he's not crossing at the crosswalk. Now, of course, people, we don't know this part.
No,
this is
us
speculation. Making a speculation. I do know from a valuable source that he was hit multiple times.
Oh, that is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I hate to hear that sort of stuff because, like I say, once again, working in the business.
Use the crosswalks. It's a pain in the ass, but use the crosswalks.
And hitting on that because, and this is another thing. And
like Gordon has said in the past, correct me if I'm wrong, Gordon, Vegas has a law. If you hit somebody who was not using the crosswalk, you are not at fault.
That is correct. If you hit anybody outside a marked crosswalk or an obvious intersection, you will not be held liable. It is the fault of the pedestrian.
Wow. Because you're not in it marked.
Designated by law.
That's why those crosswalks are there, because they have the clearest sight.
Yeah. And this also draws me to this gentleman crossing the street. I've noticed here lately, and I think we've hit on this before, there are people out riding their bikes. And I don't know what the laws are. I got to read up on this. And they aren't looking, man. They're just cruising over through intersections. They're not looking to their right when they know it's a green light and people could be making a left-hand turn to get into the say-so street that they're going down. They're just riding along, and then they give you a dirty look because you're trying to make a left, man.
To answer your question,
that kind of pisses me off, dude.
To answer your question, the official rules of riding bikes on the road is you're supposed to do it like you're on a motorcycle or a car.
I would imagine.
Technically, it's illegal to ride your bike on a sidewalk, but they really don't
Which is
harass you
just
for that.
insane.
You're supposed to ride either on the edge
The
of the
bike
road
lane.
or in the bike lane. You're supposed to use hand signals. And to answer your
Right.
question, when you come to that intersection and the light's red, you are supposed to stop as if you're on a motorcycle
Right.
and wait for it to go green, and then you continue riding.
Absolutely. Well, you'd think they'd stop and just have a look to see what traffic's up to, and not just be just so nonchalant. Man, they're looking to get hit. Some of
Well,
these people, it seems like.
To give the devil its due, and Gordon used to do a lot of street riding, and he can join in on this, but I know you guys are tired of hearing my running talk, but part of the running
Forrest
thing
Gump over here.
is it's all about your own personal best.
Right.
You're not trying to beat anybody else. You're trying
Yeah.
to beat your last time.
Absolutely.
And so the bikers with the spandex and all that, the diehards, the one who are riding on $3,000 bikes,
Oh yeah.
they're the same way. They got their Strava app on.
Yeah.
They got their Fitbit or their Garmin going.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they're not stopping is they're trying to beat their
Beat their
personal
time.
best. They're trying to set a new time for their exercise.
Well.
And that's why when I do my long distance runs, that's why I go down to downtown Fort Myers, or I recently, the other day, I went over to Surfside.
Okay.
Parked at Starbucks, walked across Veterans, and ran down Surfside because
Nice.
it's a well-lit neighborhood and there's no intersections.
Okay.
When I run out here, like after
Oh,
work,
it's dark.
well, no, when I run out here, I run down and then there's a main intersection.
Yeah.
So then I got to pause everything. Then my heart rate slows down. Then my legs start cramping up. And then I got to
So
wait
that's
for the light to turn green.
interfering, yeah.
And then I can run down, go, and so I can do 8 miles, but I still have 2 crosswalks I got to stop at. And so that's why when I'm doing long distance running on the weekend and I'm going for new times, I will go somewhere where I can do that 10 miles without hitting a crosswalk.
Right, without hitting
So I don't have to
certain
stop and sit for a minute and a half
crosswalks.
and cramp up.
Right.
And so those bikers are the same way, right, Gordon?
Yeah, it's pretty much it. It's exactly. You try to do your own best, but a lot of these guys are also training for events. So they are going to just be grinding, and unfortunately, I think they can also get into their own little bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got
Well, of
earbuds and
course.
everything else.
And like the guy I ran into today, you could tell he's not training. He's not out doing anything. He's just a regular guy with a backpack, just
Yep.
on his way home. But he just don't give a damn, and he's just riding along, not looking around. I did not see any earbuds hanging because that's immediately what I thought and looked to.
Well, they have the wireless ones now that you don't see. They're just in the ear.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So,
anyhow,
I don't know. That just kind of pisses me off, the whole deal with certain things, and I feel bad for this 71-year-old gentleman. Let me tell you what.
now that the local news from News and Shit is up, Gordon,
Yep.
what do you got in your beat?
I have actually. This is sponsored by Sleeps.com. Have you ever been wrenching over your car in an area where you can't wear a hat and sweat's just pouring down in your eyes?
Yep.
Miserable.
Mhm.
You got the grease, you got everything else going on. But if you use a sleeve, I'm going to call it a head gasket. I know that's not what it technically is. But you throw it on.
I'm
your-
sure they
your
won't
glove,
mind you rebranding their stuff. That's cool.
But it's like a head gasket. It's a band that you throw around your head. It keeps the sweat off if you're running. Keeps the earbuds in and the sweat out of the eyes. also.
Antibacterial, UV protectant. One
Nice.
size fits most. They don't stink. They got so many designs. I have 3 or 4 of them. 2 American flags, a digital camo, a blue one. They have state flags. They got tons of them.
To be honest with you, I checked out one of your sleeves from sleeves.com after you did a big run a couple weeks ago. And you know what? That antibacterial stuff that's built into this material really does work. It really works.
Yeah, they don't stink.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
stink.
Go ahead,
All
Gordon.
right. So what do we got,
Cool.
Gordon?
Head on over to sleeps.com, enter promo code D410 for 40% off.
Nice.
So on our news and shit, I'm actually going to not go Vegas right away. I'm going to head out to the great or not so great city of Chicago.
Ah.
I'm
Murder
not big on
capital of the United
taxes, and
States
this is
right
one of the ones. So Don, D-Train, imagine you're on your Xbox, and with your subscription, you have to pay an additional 9% tax to be able to play online.
Is it a syntax?
It is not a sin tax. It's an entertainment tax. And Sony has just joined back in November companies that stream services, which include Spotify, Netflix, and Hulu, in complying with this charge that took effect 3 years ago.
Wow.
So any streaming service, any online gaming, you get a 9% charge that used to mainly and mostly apply to concerts and sporting event tickets.
Well, not to get too political, but for those of you who don't know, Chicago is ran by a certain wing of the political party. and these wings tend to have a lot of let's just say programs offering for free to people, and they tend to have problem with fundraising and managing the revenue streams. And these are the states that like to have these crazy ass taxes like this. And the reason I said a sin tax is like a lot of places when you drink or smoke or do quote unquote sinful things, those are the things they tax to make money off of because those things never go away. So it does not surprise me that Chicago is broke as shit looking for a way to raise some revenue. So I know, let's tax all of these poor kids. Most of these kids are minors who don't even have jobs. Of course, their parents are paying for the subscriptions. But let's go ahead and just tax people who are sitting at home on their Xboxes because they're not out, buying
Getting
stuff and
exercise
spending
or
money on sales
something.
tax.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So something regional here in the Las Vegas or Southwest area is people are dying at Grand Canyon.
Yes, I've heard about this. Yes, I have. And it seems, go ahead and fill me in because I want to
Sorry,
know.
too soon?
Nah, not yet.
Not at all. So within a week, a little over actually a week, 3 people have died, basically sliding off the rim,
Yeah.
south rim, and into the canyon. And what is interesting is most of these are people going after the photograph.
Yes, they are.
Selfiers?
These, yep.
Yep. Actually, a lot of them are older.
Yes, they are.
And one of the pushbacks is, well, you need more rails. And I'm
Well,
kind of
that's what I was going to say. It's not going to be the fault of the people who are Darwinism's not going to come into play here. It's going to become the fault of the state. But the Grand Canyon is miles long,
Yes.
and now we're supposed to put a
Deep.
rail around it.
And the railing will not work. Even the
No, they're
Park
just going
Service-
to get on the other side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, somebody's going. Even if you build a 20-foot wall, somebody's going to scale it,
They're going to,
do what they do, and
Well, that's
and
why you
we'll
got to go
tell
30
the
foot.
story.
right, right. I noticed one of the ladies, it seemed like she was 71 and taking a selfie and just that little bit. And people don't realize, up there, and T-Train, you know this, Gordon, you know this as well, and maybe a lot of our listeners that have been out west know this, that soil is very, very soft. It will break off like that.
Yeah, you can have 4 feet between you and
Yes,
the wall,
and
but what you don't know
you'll
is
have
there's
a
nothing
landslide.
underneath it,
Yeah.
and you're pulling a Wile E. Coyote,
Yep,
and all of a sudden the ground breaks off.
with the quickness,
You're
man.
you're hovering for 3 seconds. You look at the TV, then
Yeah.
you look down, and then you fall.
You're done, man. It's a
over.
dangerous
All
area.
the card is pulled, right?
And they I don't know if some of these areas are all managed by, or they have a service ranger that's out there, on the land itself, or right there where these people are visiting and looking and taking pictures. But imagine all the people that have fallen off, that are on some of these side roads and side areas, camping and stuff, that have fallen off, and you just never heard anything. You've never heard
Yeah,
anything.
there's going to be a lot of primitive camping
There is
areas
a
and just
load.
getting out into the back country, so to speak,
Yes.
where it happen.
Yes.
And these are probably the same types of people that die in Yellowstone. Why, hey, let me put my kid on top of this bison.
Right. Right.
Or
At
if
what
you
point,
dirt
it's
dirt,
like-
your mom might leave you out in the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
and you don't know where your parents are.
Yeah.
It's a story as old as time. I mean,
Yeah.
poor Joe Dirt was. I'm sorry, Joe Dierte. It's French.
Yeah, Joe Dierte.
Yeah, Joe Dierte was left out there as a kid. His parents just left him. Look what happened to him.
Turned out to be a successful man.
Got himself a Hemi.
Damn right. Woo!
And a fucking mullet.
Damn
That
right.
was a wig.
Yeah. I get that.
But
Anyway,
yeah.
so next up in Vegas. Last week, the Las Vegas City Council votes in favor of pot lounges.
Nice.
So how it works right now in Nevada and Las Vegas is anybody who's into imbibing, they can go to a dispensary, buy recreational marijuana, but they have to go home to smoke it
Right.
or
Right.
ingest it.
And,
Which, being in a town that's industry is driven by tourism, it's kind of making a sticking point, so to speak, that these guys, they come into town, they visit all these dispensaries that are up and down the edges of the strip. They have nowhere to consume it.
mm-hmm.
So Las Vegas City Council members voted in favor of pot lounges in the Valley on Wednesday.
Nice.
Members discussed establishing a business license category and land use regulation for venues that use marijuana during the city council meeting. So currently you can buy cannabis product anywhere, almost anywhere in Las Vegas, but once you walk out the dispensary door, the only place to legally light up is at home.
Is at the house.
This,
Yeah.
ordinance passed, which is similar to the lounges in San Francisco. Oh, great. We need a model after them. That's awesome. Sorry, tangent.
Yeah, you can look forward to human shit all over your streets.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. I like this lounge idea. I think it's a
And no
it's
alcohol is allowed in these lounges.
it's interesting that Las Vegas is letting this go in my opinion, because you remember, I don't know, had to have been what, 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, when they tried to make it a family place. Remember, they went for that whole family vibe, like bring
Kinda
the
like New York
family.
did.
Yeah, bring the family to Vegas. It's a family friendly atmosphere and all that. And they tried that, I think, for a couple years, but we all know.
Then they came out with what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right. Yep. Taxi cab, Las Vegas, and all that stuff. We all know.
And I tell you what, and the whole marketing has pretty much changed on the Strip. It is
Has it?
not gaming driven anymore.
Really?
It's about conventions.
Hmm.
They pulled down the Riviera, the Las Vegas Convention Center will be going all the way up to the Strip. Every casino has built on convention spaces. Right now, we are number two, one or two, right, or we're number 2 or 3. I'm sorry, right behind either Orlando or Chicago, and the goal
Yeah.
is to kind of knock them guys off.
Yeah, I'd say
And I think
Orlando.
we've got the draw to do it.
Yeah, Vegas is a great. I went there for a couple of conventions. God, this was in '94, '95. I went there for this home repair convention. Then I was working for this home place at the time, preventative maintenance sort of stuff for construction. But you know what? You're right. I can see that. I see where the conventions is a big draw, because you're bringing in not only the people, but a lot of people are going to bring their families and have just a good old time. So yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So they're not basically promoting just, hey, come out here and blow your cash, right? I mean, that's not the commercials that you're seeing
No,
out there.
it's not. Actually, they're pushing the shows and everything else. I mean, I think there's Cirque du Soleil
Yeah.
in just about every casino.
Do you get a lot
course,
of that, Gordon?
Those seen them all, huh?
Do you get a lot of that, Gordon? Do you get a lot of self shows, self promotion for stuff there for the locals to come out and
Yeah,
and enjoy your
some-
town?
But there are some local discounts throughout.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not as much as you would think, because to put on some of these shows,
Oh
they're
yeah.
all people, and there's hundreds of people just in the background involved.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to get paid, and I get that. So I understand why ticket prices are what they are.
Let's
the
do
paid
one more
parking-
on your news and
Yeah.
shit.
Sorry about that. I'm just interested. Vegas is I love that town. So all right, what else you got, bud?
Okay, Mount Everest. When you vision Mount Everest, what do you think of?
A dead guy with green boots.
Yep. Lots of trash.
I think they
Exactly.
refer to him as Mr. Green Boots.
Yep, and he's actually been pulled off the mountain.
Really? They finally brought down Mr. Green Boots?
They brought down Mr. Green Boots, and recently a cleanup team in Nepal recently picked up more than 3 tons
Wow.
of garbage from the area around the world's highest peak.
Nice,
They plan-
nice job, fellas. So much for
Yeah.
Leave No Trace.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and their plans to grab a total of 11 tons in a 45-day cleaning initiative that started on the 14th of this last month.
Whatever
Wow.
happened to pack in, pack out what you
Yeah.
pack in.
Well, they did try to, and that's part of the problem is people are getting such an urge to make it to the peak that they're throwing all their morals out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
They're doing everything they can to get to the peak of that
But
mountain,
here's the
man.
thing: at this point, thousands of people have made it to the peak.
Yeah. True.
I mean, anybody with a couple $1 million can get up there now.
Yep.
You just gotta have sponsorship and a shit ton of money. It's not like it was back in the day where only 4 people. So it's
It
like,
was, yeah.
okay, congratulations, you made it to the peak with 998 other people.
But could you imagine? That would be so cool, though, to get up there and have a look around. You wouldn't want to literally stand at the world's tallest spot and just have your own visual.
Nah, I got HDTV. And it's nice and warm.
It's true.
No
it's true.
frostbite.
Well, see, I don't have TV, so I don't want to go do that.
Well, if you
Well,
can't
what's
afford a TV, you
interesting-
sure as shit gonna be able to
Dude,
afford
I'd
an
get
expedition to the top of Mount Everest.
It's me, bro. Look who you're talking
You might
to.
be able to get a job as a Sherpa, but you can't carry much.
I'd make it. Oh, dude,
world's
that was
biggest-
rough.
Well, what's interesting is some of these guys will die. They're right there in front of people, and,
Yeah.
and hundreds of people just walk right past them without even
Yep.
acknowledging.
Yeah. How many
and
bodies did they pull off? Do you know?
I'm not sure how many yet, but there's over 260 that have perished up there.
Wow.
And I think most of them are within
Money well
the
spent.
death zone.
Wow.
They're with the warming of the environment around there.
Yeah.
There are more bodies coming up right now, so they're doing what they can to try to get some of that out.
And if
But it's I guess it's horrible to see what happens when people's egos just get involved in something that
oh yeah.
I'm sure back home they were the biggest environmentalist in the world.
Mhm.
But once they get up there, it goes out the window.
Well, in the
And-
words of white hip hop artist Tom McDonald, you complain when a gorilla gets killed at a zoo, but when someone's dying next to you, you take a picture to get Facebook views.
Oh, that's rough, man.
It's
Sad
truth.
truth.
You're right. It is so true. So true. Wow. And if I'm not, well, a lot of those people died between Base Camp 3 and 2. It's that.
They used to have that TV show up there.
Did they?
Yeah, they had a TV show, Everest. It was like on the History Channel or
Ah.
Discovery Channel. By the
All
way,
right.
Discovery Channel.
What do you got?
Okay, you know why McDonald's has shakes and not milkshakes?
I've never thought about it, but you're right.
Gordon?
Because it's not milk.
Exactly. The law will not allow
Yeah.
them. It's false advertising. If there's no milk in it, you can't have milkshakes. But yet somehow Discovery Channel, because it was on tonight, could have a show called Naked and Afraid Uncensored.
Uh-huh.
That shit
And
is
it's
censored.
Naked and Afraid.
They still censor out every
Uncensored.
cuss word. They still censor out the butts, the boobs, the cocks, and all that.
Ah, jeez.
The only thing they didn't censor out is when the girl had to get 3 stitches and you could see her knuckle. But how are you
Oh.
going to call a show something something uncensored and it's censored?
The old bait and switch.
It's called false advertising.
Yeah.
And speaking
Wow.
of TVs, before we wrap this up,
Yeah.
have Gordon, Dave don't have a TV. Have you seen this new Groupon commercial?
I have not.
I saw it yesterday, and I just want to give them props because it is such a smart, self-aware commercial. The chick is getting a pedicure done, right? Because she got a Groupon. The way Groupon works is a bunch of people sign up, and then they all get the
Share it.
coupon emailed to them. But in the commercial, right? Because she's getting her nails done.
Right.
She's using her phone with her feet, and she looks at the camera, and it's the greatest line ever. She goes, "Some of you guys are going to like." She goes, "Some of you are going to like this commercial for all the wrong reasons."
Yeah.
And she says, "Stop it." Basically talking about foot pervs,
Yeah,
guys who have
talking
foot
about- yeah, right,
fetishes.
right.
So she's barefoot, using her toes on her phone, and she looks at the screen and says, "Yeah,
Some of
some of
you
you guys
guys
are going
aren't
to like this
gonna-
for commercial for all the wrong reasons." And then they say Groupon, and you hear her say, "Stop it. That's gross." I just thought it was great. A nice, funny, self-aware commercial, which even kind of has a perverted sense to it.
People are into that, man. The old foot fetish. Some wild stuff, man. Ugh. Not into that, man. It ain't me, bro. All right, boys. Hey, I got to say thanks for having me back, man. Glad to be back. Can't
Can't
wait.
have you back at your show.
Well, I know, but I'm just glad to be back, bro. I'm burnt. I'm tired. I don't think I've had but a couple hours of sleep all week. But get well, brother. And hello to my older brother and everything. But you want to close out with anything, man?
We said a lot of stuff in the last 122 minutes and 22 seconds. Out of all that time, I hope you found something semi-positive, something you can take home to better your life. Because life is short, life is hard. Just go out and follow your dreams and do everything you need to do to be successful in life. Follow me on Instagram at dtrain410. You can follow me on Twitter, I think at dtrain410 as well, or Donovan410. Just go to d-410.com. You will see my Twitter feed and my Facebook feed on the right-hand side. Thanks to all those of you who signed up for Patreon tonight. Thank you, Craig. But yeah, do what you got to do. Follow your dreams because life's short and one day you may wake up dead. Gordon?
I can be hit up on Instagram, Aegis1974. We will hopefully next week be figuring out what to do for a public persona on Facebook.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, everybody. Look forward to another week. As D-Train says, hopefully everybody's, prosperity and kicking ass this week. And, hey, once again, if you want to hit me up, I am on Instagram at Dave_the_Waterman. And that'll do it. We'll see you next week. You!